Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Still I Rise podcast. I'm your host, Lisa McKenzie, founder of Unite Empowering Events. I am so honored to be here today with you as we introduce you to some amazing everyday heroes who will be sharing their inspiring stories of how they persevered after a life-altering event. The stories that we are sharing come from a unique narrative therapy program we created called Storycrafting. It's a small group 6-week experience that challenges participants to revisit a time in their life when life changed. Yes, you will hear about their hardships, but you will also hear how these amazing individuals persevered and found silver linings. Many of our participants are nervous to share, and they know they're being vulnerable with you, but they each said that they wanted to share because it's their hope that maybe their stories will inspire others and help somebody else persevere also. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Debbie Tongi, who is our program director, and we can't wait for you to meet our story crafters. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this podcast with others.
My name is JeriLynn Mayeur, and this is my story. And my cancer diagnosis started for me in June of 2020. I was 31 years old and diagnosed with stage 1 invasive adenocarcinoma of my sigmoid colon. The day after my surgery, I actually found a breast lump, and 6 weeks later was diagnosed with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma of my right breast. So both colon cancer and breast cancer in the same year of 2020. And then later in November 22, I found out I am stage 4 metastatic breast. Throughout my cancer journey, I have received care from several different places, including Ochsner in New Orleans, St. Tammany Parish Hospital, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center in Covington and in Baton Rouge. I can honestly say with a full heart that everyone I've encountered in my cancer care has been extremely phenomenal. Of course, there are the doctors that have gone above and beyond for me, and I'm forever grateful. And those doctors include Dr. Genevieve Morange and Dr. Jules Walters, along with nurse practitioners Robin Wilson and Ashley Steinhauer. I cannot give enough thanks to the 4 of them for helping me with all my cancer care, but every nurse, tech, doctor, surgeon I've encountered has been extremely wonderful. I, of course, could not get through any of this without all of my amazing family and friends, my husband, my son, my parents, my in-laws, my siblings, the list goes on, as well as friends, close friends, distant friends, acquaintances, people we didn't know reaching out to help us through this difficult time in my life. But with a grateful heart, I'm very appreciative. What I've learned about myself is that I can find the positive with every negative. A lot of people have told me I am brave, I am strong, but when you have no other choice, you have to be. You have to see the light. You know you can get through it with the love and support, and just know there will be better days ahead. To anyone that will be going through a cancer diagnosis as well, my main piece of advice is just take everything a day at a time. Especially in the beginning, it's overwhelming, it's a lot of information. However, if you just take it step by step, it'll be okay. And reach out to others. There's such a big cancer community of people who are willing to give you advice and love, and accept it. That's the best thing you can do.
Hi, everybody. I'm sitting here with the wonderful JeriLynn Mayeur. Did I say that right? Mayeur. But it's spelled that very beautiful French, Mayeur.
Correct.
So you found out about Unite how? How did you come upon our program?
After my deep reconstruction surgery, I had to have some wound care. And the home health nurse I had, Charo, is a previous Unite participant. And she recommended the program to me to look into it, as well as my oncologist, Dr. Genevieve Morange, recommended the program as well. I've seen it on Facebook throughout the years, and I'm happy to be a part of it now.
Thank you for being a part of it. You are one of our young ones. We don't take children in the program, but we've had as young as 19 and as old as 82. But you were diagnosed at age 31.
Correct.
And your first diagnosis was colon cancer, is that correct?
Correct. In June of 2020, I was 31 years old and diagnosed with stage 1 invasive adenocarcinoma of my colon, sigmoid colon. I had surgery at main campus to remove the part of my colon that was affected, and the next day after the surgery is when I found the breast lump. And 6 weeks later, after several tests, I was diagnosed with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma of my right breast. They were two primary cancers. They were not related, and they were diagnosed 6 weeks apart from each other.
So recently you've had a new diagnosis, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, correct. As of November 2022, I am a stage 4 metastatic breast cancer patient with mets noted to several different bones throughout my body.
Okay, so this is kind of maybe a tough question, but when you signed up for Unite, you put down on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is that you're not doing so great, and 5 is that you're doing awesome. You indicated a stage 4
Yes.
for how you felt. That was before your new diagnosis. I'm just curious because you always just such a bright light and an amazing, like, I don't feel like you have a bad aura around you at all. You don't look depressed, and you handle things with such grace and strength. But with this new diagnosis, would you still say that you're at a 4 emotionally through everything?
I would say so. I've learned that you really just have to try to see the good in everything. Everybody always says you're so brave, you're so strong, but when you're given no other choice but to be brave and to be strong, it's what you have to do. You can't let this diagnosis weigh you down and bring you down. I have a small child at home who just turned 6 and needs my pride and joy. And that's who I do this all for, is my family and my friends, and for myself. I'd rather let people know that cancer can be fought and it doesn't have to be dark, that there can be light through it all.
So you did the SCART workshop. You did the SCART event, which was where you actually looked at your scars and painted them. And how did you feel about that?
I found it was very rewarding. I attended the South Shore session, even though I'm part of the North Shore class, and it was nice to get to meet everyone and learn everyone's stories. But with mine, I liked it because I made it bright and colorful, and it showed like the one side that was affected by cancer versus the one side that wasn't, but still had its own issues. So it's neat to like kind of like look back and be like, you know, this is hard, this is challenging, but it's fun to come out of it and learn that I really did go through that. I did make it through, and I have a very proud story to tell.
You certainly do, and you told it. You just finished your 6 weeks of story crafting, and I'm so excited for everyone to hear your story. One of the assignments early on is for you to identify the challenge that you want to write about. Some women choose to write about their cancer diagnosis, and some of them just choose a life challenge. What did you decide to write about?
I wrote about my cancer. I am a very independent person, and it is very hard for me to ask for help. So my story is about my cancer journey and learning how to ask for help and let people in, that I don't have to do this alone.
Very good. Another part of the assignment is that you have to come up with a metaphor for your story, a symbol, the symbol that maybe you would want to write about. Were you able to do that?
Yes, I felt like the symbol of what my life is going on right now is like a roller coaster. I've had 3 different times I've been told I'm sorry, it's cancer. And so I feel like every time that something happens, it's like another lap around the roller coaster. I don't get off, I just keep going, but it's who I let on and who's there with me riding along the way.
Wow, what a beautiful way, a mental image of that. And I think of the ups and downs too, the lows can be very low and the highs. Well, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and have JeriLynn read her story, The Ride of My Life.
All of my life, I have felt like I had to be independent and do everything on my own. Receiving a cancer diagnosis helped me to look back on my life prior to cancer. I have realized that it has felt like I've always been riding a roller coaster. There were times where I never truly fit in most friendship groups and struggled maintaining these relationships throughout my life. There have been periods of time the ride was full, but only for me to learn that some of the people were there to enjoy time with me, but others did not want to be there at all. Some years the ride was empty and I sat there feeling lonely and terrified. In my life, many friendships formed just the same as many friendships disappeared. It was during these times I learned that quality is greater than quantity, as I noticed which people never exited but stayed along for the entire ride. To date, I have had 3 major laps on that roller coaster related to my journey with cancer. The first major lap on the roller coaster was receiving a stage 1 colon cancer diagnosis at age 31 in June of 2020. Another milestone lap was finding a breast lump the day after my colectomy and receiving a stage 2 breast cancer diagnosis 6 short weeks later in August of 2020. The current ride I am on started in November 2022 with a stage 4 metastatic breast cancer diagnosis at 33 years old. All of these laps have helped me to realize that life is short to be unhappy. You always have to worry what others think of you. I have learned to encourage others to live life day to day and appreciate everything life has to offer to you. With any kind of journey, we have to let ourselves feel all of the emotions. It is okay to be sad, happy, exhausted, hopeful, positive, and even negative. Even though I am stuck on this ride, my goal is to remain optimistic about the future while allowing myself to cry as needed. Allowing myself to feel all these emotions has enabled me to learn what I want for myself, my family, and everyone in my life. My biggest wake-up call in improving the quality of my life was leaving a job that was running me into the ground and finding an environment where I could balance my career and my home life. As a parent with cancer, I want to be there for my only child's biggest moments. This is when the roller coaster started slowing down, and I have been able to enjoy life more. Instead of a full-time job working 40 plus hours a week, I have a wonderful PRN as needed position and can choose the days I work, making sure I'm available for my family. My son is my pride and joy, and every decision I make is truly for him. I know I have to take care of myself to live as long as I can. I can't keep letting a fast roller coaster wear me down, and I'm so grateful I made the decision to slow down and enjoy life more. I have learned that it is okay to accept help from others and to let them ride the roller coaster with me. I do not have to do this alone, and I am very grateful for that. I am now able to throw my hands in the air and feel weightless and joyful on this roller coaster ride that is my life. My main encouragement to all is to live life day to day, don't be afraid to be yourself, and enjoy every moment we can. Life is a precious gift, but also a thrilling adventure.
Wow, thank you so much, JeriLynn, for reading that story so beautifully, but for really exemplifying that roller coaster life. I mean, yeah, it's exciting, but it's also terrifying, isn't it?
It's wild.
Yes.
We'll say that.
That's the perfect word. We're going to end with that it's wild. Thank you.
Thank you.